Jay. Adam. It's Preview. Hey, Peaches! Welcome to Previewed, where friends don't let friends review Snyder cuts of movies alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay.
And today we're going to react, review, riff, and at the end we're going to rate the brand new, as of a couple hours ago, it finally dropped, the movie the internet manifested for everybody.
Made happen.
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
We got up crazy early this morning, busted it out.
Uh-huh.
We're recording this now. We're a little loopy, but we're in it.
So we're structuring this in 3 parts.
3 parts.
First part of this video is going to be a spoiler-free review of the movie.
Spoiler-free.
The second part will be the spoiler-full part.
Spoiler-full.
Yeah. And then the third part is going to be the...
Musical of... No.
The third part is going to be the, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Because, and those of you who've seen it, you know what we're talking about. And some character breakdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the first part of the video here is for if you have not seen it yet and are wondering, should you invest the 4 hours to see this movie that you've seen part of before, this is the part you want to watch. And the short answer is, yes, you want to see this goddamn movie.
Yes.
This thing is an absolute goddamn banger.
Yeah.
Like...
It's incredible.
All of the Whedon cut's really, really bad. It's very bad.
Yeah.
All of the things you're just like, man, I wish that scene lasted just a little bit longer. Couldn't we have a little bit of context of why this one thing is happening? The Snyder cut is context to the movie.
Yeah.
This is a 101 filmmaking, film writing 101. It sets something up, it pays off a little bit later.
Yeah.
That is this movie.
Everyone, all of the characters that just would show up and do things in the first movie, like all of their decisions and choices have a frame of reference, have a, oh, I understand why they do that now. Oh, wow, that really should be the basement level of storytelling. And it's just like, oh yeah, that really fleshes that out. Oh yeah, that is why Aquaman came back. Okay, yeah. All right, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, internets. I did not expect to like this today.
He really didn't.
I watched this under a little bit of duress. I was so upset. If you listen to if you're one of our YouTube Illuminati tier of our Patreon, you have heard the commentary of the first one, into which I, about 2.5 hours into that movie, go, is this over yet? Are we done? Can we be done? I hate it. I really did not want to like it. And I found myself at certain points like up, cheering and like, yeah.
He was walking around his apartment like, damn it, I can't believe I'm really liking this movie. I really like this movie.
I really like this movie. And I think there's certain things that make this movie like really hum. And from a spoiler-free perspective, it's just, I think that the success and the triumph is that they truly flesh out all of the characters. They give them all a through line. They give them all badass moments.
Oh, yeah.
When the finale of the movie comes, they all truly have a part in saving the world.
Uh-huh.
Which did not happen in the first one.
It did not. And it was Deus Ex Superman.
Yeah, I think, and they flesh out Cyborg in the way they should have from word jump. And for someone looking at the script with what they did with Cyborg and what we got in the first film, it's kind of infuriating. Because they really give him a sweeping arc in this Snyder cut. And in that first movie, it's just, he is set dressing.
Yeah, he really is.
Like, he is plot device the character.
It's bad. What the difference between Cyborg's characters is night and day. And it's almost criminal what happened to his character in the Whedon cut. Because they really just chopped it down. Let me put it this way. The first 90 seconds of this movie give more context to the entire film than all of the Whedon cut. Yeah. Like, the first 90 seconds is like, oh, that's why all of this is happening. That makes so much more sense. Like, everything. You could take the first 90 seconds of the Snyder cut and just put it in front of the Whedon cut, and it's like, oh yeah, this helps out.
It helps out
tremendously.
Yeah,
like it could,
tremendously.
Tremendously. I was going to say tremendously, then you said another word, and I was like, well, it's tremendously.
It's tremendously. Yeah. It's tremendously helpful. It's because like literally like the first 90 seconds of the movie happen, and we both look at each other and go, "Oh, we're doing this. Okay. Okay.
Oh, past events really do have cause and effect of what's going on in this movie. Oh, Batman v Superman really did set up this movie.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's what I needed. Thanks.
Much like WandaVision, it being so good, like posthumously retconning Age of Ultron, the Snyder Cut retcons Batman v Superman as a better movie.
Oh, yeah. Like, a lot.
A lot.
Here's the thing. Zack Snyder, this movie has proven to me that Zack Snyder is a fantastic director. Zack Snyder's failing, at least in my eyes, is sometimes his stories are not great. Sucker Punch. But directing...
The shots are always good.
The visuals... The music, all of that, how to make a movie, the dude nails it.
How to build a moment.
Yeah, oh my God, this movie's full of moments.
Yeah. What I said when we first started, I was like, Zack Snyder has like such a unique voice, and I like it when he talks. He just doesn't always know what he's talking about.
Yes.
But in this one, both of those things, in this cut, like both of those things like come crashing into each other, and it's like, this is easily the best Zack Snyder movie.
Hands down, absolutely. Like, it's 4 hours long. I mean, there's a lot of credits, but
there's no way it was going into the theaters.
But that's the thing. This movie is really, really good. It made Batman v Superman even better.
Yeah.
But, like, there's no way we would have gotten this movie 4 years ago.
No.
Even if all the horrible things didn't happen, and we were able to see Zack Snyder's original version of this movie, this 4-hour cut would not have made it to the theaters.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because this movie really needed to be 4 hours.
Yeah.
So, that being said, if you are on the fence about seeing this movie, find a friend who has HBO Max.
Yeah.
Get it for yourself if you want it. Like, you need, if you are a fan of DC, if you like superhero movies, if you thought these movies were pretty good, but watch, find somebody.
It's gonna kick your teeth in.
It's gonna.
If you like Justice League a little bit.
Yep.
This one's gonna blow your mind.
It's gonna blow your mind. It's absolutely worth it.
I really didn't think it was
absolutely worth it.
And this is coming from someone who I really thought this is not gonna live up to the hype. I really thought this was gonna fail, and it really didn't. So,
absolutely
do yourself a favor.
Absolutely see it. Set aside 4 hours, and remember, there's 6 parts of it. You can take breaks. Yes. There's good pausable moments.
There are some good possible moments.
So to go to the bathroom, to get a snack, to sit on the, you just kind of maybe look at Reddit for a couple minutes.
There's like, I took a bunch of bathroom breaks, and you're like, you want me to pause it? I'm like, we saw this scene. This scene is the same scene.
Yep, there's a couple of scenes.
It's like, there's nothing's changing right now. Nothing's changing. It's like, it's okay.
See this movie immediately.
Go.
Now, on to the spoilers!
To the whiteboard!
To why exactly you should be seeing this movie. Okay.
Spoilers. Bow, bow, bow.
We're going to start from the beginning and work our way through the movie.
Yeah.
The opening 90 seconds, it was like, oh yeah, remember when Superman died and he screamed really loud? I remember that. That was kind of sad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he screamed so loud, his voice traveled around the planet and activated all of the mother boxes.
Because the mother boxes knew that the one thing that could defeat them was dead. And so they activate, and it's like, oh yeah, that's exactly, because that was always the thing. It's like, why now? Why now? Mm-hmm. Why now? Oh yeah, because Superman's gone. Great. Awesome.
Makes perfect sense.
From a cinematic standpoint, it's very evocative.
Oh yeah, it's just a great opening shot. Because we jump around the DCU. This is what's going on in the world at this moment. We see Cyborg. We go to Themyscira. We see Atlantis. We see Mera for the first time.
Yep.
Like we get introduced all these characters in the first 90 seconds, based off of the events in Batman v Superman. It's like, oh, this makes way more sense now.
It builds the world immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
It reminds you all the things that you've seen before, and it's like, cool, great. Remember all this? Membo? All right, great. Moving on. First of all, like the big changes, like the big, like actually spoilerly changes.
Oh, sure.
A lot of the action is way more intense in this.
Yo, we need to talk about Wonder Woman's first fight scene, which is the same fight scene.
It's the same fight scene.
It's the same fight scene,
but totally different.
Because she is. I'm not going to do it because we want to get this video out, but somebody needs to put a side-by-side comparison of the Whedon cut version of this fight and the Snyder version of this fight, because Wonder Woman is bodying people in Snyder's cut. Like, she is really, like, throwing people against walls. Like, the speed is way different. Yep. She is really hitting people real hard.
She the thing is, like, that in the regular Justice League was like, oh, cool, Wonder Woman being Wonder Woman. In the Snyder Cut, Wonder Woman is like, she shows up and decisively takes care of business.
Yeah.
She smashes that guy against the wall. There's like a blood splat. I was like, yo, Wonder Woman is not messing around.
Nope.
Whoa. And then the whole sequence after that, when it's all the little schoolgirls, and she's just like, can I be like you someday? She's like, you mean anything you want? I was like, yeah.
There was a tender after action care moment, and I was like, and just was like, yeah, this is one of those. Everyone's standing up like, thank God it's over, and the little girl's like, can I be like you someday? And she takes the moment to be an inspiring figure in this girl's life.
It summed up Zack Snyder DC like hard. It was like it leaves the sweet center and the almost over dramatic kind of saccharine sweet aspects of DC, but it's like, yeah, smash the guy against the wall. There's a shadow of his blood on it. Woo, she killed all those guys. Like, they're not just like, oh, taken out. They're dead.
Well, the whole scene the scene is set up the same way. The bad guys come in to take over or to terrorize these people, to take hostages, to blow the thing up for, whatever the reason is. But the whole situation, we don't see as Wonder Woman for the next 45 seconds because the police set up a barricade, the guys call, we're going to make a message. That's not in the Whedon cut.
No.
It's just, they take hostages, Wonder Woman on the statue, we're right into the scene.
Yep.
This takes its time to set up everything, builds the tension, and then there's Wonder Woman on the statue.
The release valve is like, boom!
Boom! It's off the... she's just... And then the music hits again, and she's just like, this is what I needed!
Also, from another, action perspective, when Steppenwolf shows up to take the mother box from the Amazons give him what for? If he doesn't have the ability to teleport out, Steppenwolf is not making it off that island. They do some work on that dude.
In the Whedon version of the movie, the Amazons get bodied and tossed about like they were nothing. In this movie, they actually give Steppenwolf a problem. And if there was a couple more of them, they probably would have taken him down.
They make it pretty clear that both the Amazons and the Atlanteans could very well stop him from doing what he needs to do. Mm-hmm. Mira, sucks the water and blood.
She bloodbends him!
And they set it up pretty easily that it's just like, we don't have enough troops. We're boned.
Yeah, because they're talking about his movie. Orm won't let anybody come to help protect the box.
Which makes sense that, yes, he takes the mother box pretty easily, but they set it up. It's like, we don't have enough guys. But, if they did, it's like, yeah, okay. Steppenwolf is just not some random god figure that can just teleport in and take stuff. Mm-hmm. They do some work on that dude. Also, they let Cyborg shoot some lasers like Cyborg. and that final assault, Cyborg is just he's getting it done in a way that was like, yes, why is he not allowed to do all this cool stuff? But I think the best way to just sum up the action changing is just straight up, they send Steppenwolf home in a body bag.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we defeated you and we punched you a bunch. He gets impaled by the trident and then thrown into a hole with the head chopped off.
And everybody had a part of it. Mm-hmm. Everybody had a part in the finale.
Yup.
Because in the original one, if you remember, they beat him down a little bit. Superman punched him a little bit, but the kind of the Zod fight, which I also have an issue with, because it doesn't seem like anyone's taking anyone damage. It's just hey, you're just punching each other. Steppenwolf is taking some damage. He's on his back foot. Superman cuts his goddamn horn off with his heat vision. It's amazing. Cyborg saves the day, and Barry saves. And we'll go into the details about the the very very at the end of how. But Superman then he gets impaled by the trident. And then Superman punches him through, and then Wonder Woman cuts his head off, all back through the boom tube to send a message to Darkseid. It's that's the ending we needed. We needed Steppenwolf to die, not get taken out by parademons, which we didn't even see him actually really die in the Whedon cut.
No,
he is fucking dead, and it's awesome. It's really so good.
It's really good.
But the other best thing about this movie is that since it's 4 hours, we have time to actually introduce all these characters, which was the big problem with the Whedon cut, because going off of Batman v Superman and those little snippets of footage of the other characters they're going to introduce in the next movie, in this version of the movie, we actually have time to see Cyborg. He's one of the first characters we actually see in the movie. We see his interactions with his father long before the Mother Box shows up.
Let's be real. This is a Cyborg movie.
It's a Cyborg
Full stop.
movie. It is. He's basically the main character.
And
Besides Batman, he's the main character.
That's what it should be, in my opinion. Like, they set, not only do we get to spend a lot of time with Cyborg, they actually, like, build him up to, that, like, when his dad is explaining all of his abilities and things, and, like, what he actually can do, I was like, oh, they're making Cyborg a superhero, and not just a robot guy who just happens to hang out with all the other superheroes. Like, they actually give him stakes.
They give him a little training montage.
Yes. And they're like, it is 100% needed.
Yeah.
Like, he can't just be around, and they can't just, like, the original movie just, like, assumes we know about Cyborg. And it's like, hey, guys, no.
Yeah, most people don't.
Like, Flash, they did enough with Flash, and we are all just familiar with Flash.
Sure,
yeah.
I liked his scene. He saved Iris, although she's not named. He saves Iris from a car accident in an extremely well done Speed Force scene.
It appreciates the physics of what he's doing. It's when he, like, makes the glass go, I was like, oh, okay, they get it. And also when his shoes turned to dust.
Immediately.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
It was truly very good.
Shoes turn to dust, then he stops, and the roadway kind of bricks up around him.
Yeah.
And then he gently folds her arms in and, like, assumes the correct position as he catches. Like, it's
so
a
good.
very well done. It's
so good.
It's a very short scene. Before the scene we see with Bruce, that's in the original, in both versions of the movie.
Yeah.
But it was very much needed to really get Barry's character. Although
that scene's a good time to pee, by the way. When he shows up,
yes,
it's a longer scene.
It's
the same thing.
It's the same scene.
Good time to pee.
But I did note that in the beginning of the movie, or in the beginning of Barry's scenes, he's acting a little bit more like Wally than Barry. But here nor there, it's still a very good scene.
Yeah. They actually they include the Flash in a way more effective way.
Oh yeah.
They make the Flash like way more impactful. That, like, I think justify, and they also just, like, clearly all the jokes that, like, landed flat with the Flash. Clearly there were better takes, because he's actually a lot more charming, a lot funnier in this, because they didn't try so hard. Like, it's better action, better context. That's the success. That's it.
Oh, absolutely. And across the board, for all the characters. I mean, even, hell, Aquaman, his scenes with Bruce in the beginning of the movie, when Bruce is trying to put the team together, they're very similar in both versions. But in Zack Snyder's one, the lines are a little different.
Well, adding, why can't I think of his name right now?
Volko?
Yes.
Yeah.
When Willem Dafoe shows up, it's like, oh, yeah, because he's actually more important than Mara in the whole story. Yeah, this should be the scene that frames everything.
Not only did it frame everything in this movie, it
framed
everything in the next movie too.
It fixes Aquaman. It really covers a multitude of sins, and it's like 10 lines. It's literally a 2-minute conversation, and it just does so much. He's like, pick up your mother's trident, and I was like, yes. It's like, she was the one that should have been doing it. It's like, yes, this is so good. It's like and also, like, it fits thematically that, like, every single story, for the most part, I mean, even with Wonder Woman in her own way, it's all about your relationship with your parents. It's like, it's the kind of thing where, like, at the very end, when they're like, oh, your parents would have been proud of you, it's just like, oh, now they're tying in Batman. It's like Barry with his dad. It's like Cyborg's whole story is about his relationship with his parents. Like, and then Wonder Woman, at the very end when she's holding the arrow, it's just like, she's got a complicated relationship with the island, and her quote-unquote, like, the island is, I think, her mother, quote-unquote.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much, it's all there, and it's, like, thematically so much stronger. And, like, the fact that giving, like, Arthur that touchstone, like, it just fixes so much.
Speaking of fixing so much, remember when the Amazon lit the fires of Gondor and tell Diana that shit was popping off?
Easily the most important change. It's the most important change.
So, in this movie, Diana actually goes to where the arrow was, picks up, steals the arrow from a crime scene.
Yeah. I mean, they need to get better about that, because they're all like, man, it was arson.
Yeah.
Who's that lady?
I don't know. She's just walking away. She's kind of hot, though, but I guess, all right, well,
hey,
bye.
She just jumped into a cave. Did you know that cave was there?
Yeah, she just jumps into the beginning of a dungeon level.
And heals, and not completely obliterating
Those are the
them.
strongest heals on the planet.
Good for her.
And then finds the place where the arrow is the key to a room full of knowledge, and then gets the whole backstory of the movie. All of it.
Just from tapestries. It's like you don't even have. It's like it's so evocative. It's so simple.
Very simple.
It took like 2 minutes. Again, it's like a 2-minute change.
She then
footage. You had the footage. Like
they had the footage because it was some of that was used in the Whedon cut.
Yeah.
And then Diana shows up to talk to Bruce, and then she relays the backstory using all that footage from the scene we partially saw, but there's now a hell of a lot more to it because frickin' Darkseid shows up in the flashback.
Yeah.
And he wasn't in the Whedon cut one. He shows up in this one, and they body him. Ares like puts an axe through his clavicle. They beat Darkseid in the flashback.
Yeah.
It's amazing. What? How is that not in the Whedon cut? Because this movie is supposed to be setting up the next couple of Justice League films, like the big bad, and you didn't I don't think you even mentioned Darkseid once.
Yeah. But also to that point, and I think I said there was only 2 things, but I think there's a third. They actually build out Steppenwolf's character.
Oh my God!
All of the scenes where he's talking to the hand of Darkseid, I can't remember his name.
Desaad.
Mm-hmm. He's having all those scenes talking to like the like avatar of Desaad, like, and him explaining like he's trying to get back in good graces. Like he realized, like he was like, I realized my mistakes. Like I'm trying to like prove myself, and I was like, yo, they're actually like making me feel for Steppenwolf a little bit.
I thought he was gonna cry for a second when he was talking to Desaad.
He was really upset.
He was,
and he really is trying to be better, quote unquote, at least in their realm. Like,
yeah, he was an actual fleshed out character,
so good,
with motivation and drive to get those mother boxes back.
Yes,
and then find the anti-life equation on Earth, which is, by the way, another huge revelation that changes everything going forward.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's simple, tiny little changes. Just giving these characters moments to do their thing.
Yeah. It's not that much. But also, they changed the facial features of Steppenwolf to make him more relatable.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. Because he doesn't look like, his armor can be cool and spiky and weird and kind of like, and amorphous, but like at least give him a face we can like connect to.
Yeah.
Like the strength of Thanos in the Avengers is like we kind of understand him.
Yeah.
Like you have to humanize your bad guys in order to make them actually impactful.
And this Steppenwolf was definitely humanized.
Yeah.
Speaking of humanized, when the nascent League is talking about deciding what to do with their mother box that Cyborg hid, it's like I had the mother box. We figured out why they didn't call out until just now.
Yeah.
Because it was Superman. He was the key. Well, I know what the mother box can do because it remade me. So it can basically turn, like the metaphor is great, it can turn the smoke back into a house.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we can probably bring Superman back to life. And in the Whedon cut, they were arguing about it.
The whole time.
The whole time. They were like, the team was at odds with each other because what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
And in this version, they're like, yeah, we kind of, I mean, it's probably not a great idea, but like, we probably should, right?
We kind of have to. And I think like the best parts of that were when the Flash was like, so like, somebody's got to say it. Like that was great because it was like on the tip of everyone's brain. But also when the rationale of just like, well, if Superman going away was the reason that these activated, we kind of have to, because that's one of my issues with the original is that like they all like they fight about it, but they're all just like they dig up his body and go put it in a spaceship. Like it's a little grim, and they're all just kind of okay with it. This one is they're kind of like, well, we really don't have a choice, so
we should probably do it. And they were all on board with it.
Yeah.
It was, and they made it like a much bigger deal out of bringing him back. They spent more time when they dug up his grave. There was a moment between Aquaman and Wonder Woman where they bonded a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a moment before they got into the base. There was a moment when they got on the base between Cyborg and his dad's like, oh, I see what you're doing. You know what? I'm going to let you go do your thing.
Yeah.
Like it was all really good. And then the biggest thing about that scene was that when they realized Aquaman's like, maybe we shouldn't do this, and Cyborg is getting the warning from either the ship or the mother box being like, you shouldn't do this because like things are going to go really, really wrong.
And him getting the vision.
Yeah, and he says no, and Barry says, oh, go, and boom, and he goes.
Yo.
And then he...
What a, like, way to like make it like complicated.
Oh yeah.
Without really, it's just... They made it. They added like a third flavor to it without really changing the dish. Mm-hmm. It's like, it needs to be a tough choice, but there are ways to do that in a way that like makes it more interesting rather than just kind of making it black and white.
Because the threat of the future still going wrong, is still
really looming.
It's very looming on the whole. Well, it's looming. It's still looming. But we see Barry actually back time up
they set up him. They set up his time travel situation
just a little bit,
which they're gonna use later. They just give us the little bits of setup we need in order to like follow the breadcrumbs for what you're inevitably gonna be doing, in such a spectacular way.
Yeah, because it was like, oh, did he just back? Oh, that box did. Oh, well, he did say time gets wonky when it gets close to the speed of light. That makes sense. Okay, cool. Not knowing that an hour and a half later, oh, they just lost. Oh no. Oh, Barry. Okay. This is how Barry time travels?
Yeah.
That makes sense. You set that up. Oh my God. This is really good.
Yes.
This is really, really good. This movie is really, really good. And the final action scene, getting to it is way more serious.
They set it up. It just feels more natural.
Yes.
It feels more impactful because it feels more natural. Like I just was like, I follow the through line of them like advancing on that base like a lot more effectively. Mm-hmm. Whereas the other one was just kind of like, it's just random action for random action's sake. Mm-hmm. But like this, I was like, oh, I see like the point A, point B. Okay, great. But also they add Superman as that last flavor in such a better moment. It's just like, it's the kind of thing where it's like we see the Justice League without Superman actually kicking.
They're doing a really good job. They almost had
They're getting it done. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then Superman shows up just at that right time. And is there... Look, we all can... If we're going to pick stupid Superman abilities...
Sure.
Freezy Breath...
Sure.
...is the stupidest.
Okay.
I think we all know it's pretty stupid. It's just that it's the one that goes too far.
Okay.
Laser vision, flight, strength, understand it. But like Freezy Breath... It's a bit much.
We all have it.
He freezes that axe and demolishes it, I was just like, Yes. That's the only time we need to see that. But yes. It just, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Very good.
And then he punches the hell out of him. Oh, and the combo moves. In the Whedon version, they're not really working together. They're fighting really together.
They're not friends.
They're not fighting with each other. In this, they got their asses kind of handed to them in the silo when they were saving Silas and the other people in Gotham. They had a couple moments of like teamwork a little bit, but at the end fight, they're actually working combo moves. They're working together. The first thing, Aquaman does the thing, slams his trident down.
Makes the energy wave.
Yeah, and then Cyborg builds it up with his sonic cannons. It's like, oh crap, where was this last time? They're working together in concert.
It's a little stupid, but it's awesome at the same time.
It's so awesome.
It's just like,
so awesome.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we needed.
It's moments like those where you're like, that's why we want the superheroes to team up so they can do. Look, is it like feasible or helpful for Iron Man to shoot his lasers at Captain America's shield and have him ricochet it? No. But it's awesome.
It's so awesome.
That's all we need. It's like, I want Thor to hit his hammer on the shield and make the sound go. Like I kind of was like, man, I wonder what what is Wonder Woman gonna do with like her lasso and like the Flash is gonna like run around and like tie everybody up. I don't know. I was just like, yes, this is why we come. This is why we show up for this kind of thing. At the end of the day, this Justice League movie, when it's wrapping up at the very end, they have set up the relationships with all the characters in such a way, they have set up the adventure and the teamwork in such a way that I believe at the end of this movie, they are actually going to start the Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
In the original movie, they're like, oh, we're going to... Like, it's the kind of thing where Bruce is like, this is where we'll set up the Justice League. And in my head, I'm like, no, you're not. I was like, no one's going to do that. I was like, you guys all, like, defeated the enemy, but, like, it was... I don't feel like you guys are actually a team. This movie is actually a Justice League movie, not a DC superheroes fighting together movie.
Mm-hmm. This is six characters coming together.
Which is everything. Mm-hmm. That's the ball game right there. Because I was like, I left the Justice League being like, I wonder if they'll make another one. We got done with this movie and I was like, yo, I want to watch them fight Darkseid hard. Oh yeah. When he's like, we have to do this the old way, I was like, yeah, bring it. I was like, bring it, I'm ready.
Yeah.
We're gonna be ready for you.
Which brings up the third part here of the video here is, so what now?
So what now?
Because
Martian Manhunter just showed up.
Just rolled in. By the way, gave Lois the pep talk as Martha. Fantastic.
It still doesn't make a ton of sense, but I like it.
He knew that she needed the pep talk. And he's like the coach of everybody.
He knows Lois is important.
And then at the end, he's like, hey, Bruce, sorry, I'm Martian Manhunter.
Hey,
I've been here for a while.
My name's John. The weird spelling.
Yeah, with the two N's. I need to help out. I realize I'm bad. Probably should have showed up in Russia like a couple days ago.
So sorry about that.
Because I knew things were going on. But actually, I could have helped out a little bit.
I could have.
But I'll be around from now on. So that's 7 members of the Justice League.
Yeah.
By the end of this movie.
Yeah.
But like, what happens now? Because like this movie, like we said earlier, this 4-hour cut of the movie was never going to come out in theaters, ever. Because there's no way a 4-hour movie would come out.
No.
It just wouldn't. This movie needed to be 4 hours, though. There might be a couple. You could have shaved off maybe 15 minutes of a little couple scenes here and there.
It was
maybe.
4 hours. It didn't feel 4 hours.
It didn't feel 4 hours.
It clipped.
It didn't feel 2 hours. It was definitely, but it didn't. It was not. I was not tired at the end of it. I was jazzed at the end of it.
Well, I regret not. I regret not recording when Martian Manhunter showed up because this guy was like literally just bouncing around the house like a kangaroo. He was so excited.
It was what? You just squeezed Martian Manhunter in this movie and Ryan Choi in this movie, which I caught on at the very beginning because he wasn't in the Whedon cut.
And they really nod. They're like, oh, nanotech. And I was
that's
just
your
like,
thing, right? Yep, that's my thing.
That's my thing.
It's like, it's the Atom! Ah!
yeah, but if you do have to make a 3-hour cut, right? He's gone.
Sure, I mean,
you have to make a 3-hour cut of this. Like he's out.
I mean, no, he could still be around.
He can be around, but it's
but not that little scene at the end.
Yeah.
But like, this movie was really, really good. Really good. I would like to see more of this movie.
I can't believe I'm saying it, but yeah, I kind of want.
But what do we do now, guys?
Yeah, I guess
because
that's the frustrating thing is that like, okay, cool, we got. It's spent a half hour setting up next stuff in a way that I don't know if it can like.
What do we do? Because
what are we supposed to do?
The internet made this happen.
Yeah.
People were signing petitions for years to get this thing out.
I'm so mad.
HBO Max became a thing, and they realized they needed a hook, and they're like, well, we have this thing that people want. We can do it this way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if whoever made those decisions understood what a frickin' banger this thing was gonna be.
Yeah.
Because I am jazzed for Snyder's DCEU right now, and I cannot believe I just said that because I am eating my words from a couple years ago.
I cannot believe it.
I want to see more of this.
Yeah.
And going from the Snyder's cut to Aquaman, that's easy. That's still in canon. All the events make sense. Wonder Woman 88, 84, sure, whatever, that's fine.
Sure.
It's fine. It's a prequel, so it doesn't really matter. Shazam easily fits in with this because he could hang out with Flash and Cyborg and stuff and be cheeky and fun.
I kind of need that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Shazam easily slides into this.
I need Shazam and Superman hanging out, quite frankly. Because, I mean, yeah.
I think Henry Cavill was supposed to be in the second one as a hot second, I think. Or, he was supposed to be at the end of it, but,
I'm sorry, he's so good as Superman.
He's fantastic as
Superman. He's so good.
But that's the dilemma right now. Because in just movie terms, the movies that came out canonically after, Justice League can still work with the Snyder Cut. But unfortunately, it's been 4 years since the Justice League movie came out.
Yeah. What do we do?
DC's lost all momentum. The last year happened. They've made a lot of business decisions, which are leading them in other directions now. Joker was a massive hit. Shazam was a massive hit. They're kind of like starting to have a loose cannon right now. The Batman movies coming out, just wrapped, and that's not going to be in this continuity. Of course not. It's just going to be its own thing. Yeah. And I think those movies absolutely deserve to have their own.
I'm okay with Batman having its own side. I mean, the Christopher Nolan ones are awesome, and they kind of just exist in their own world, and that's fine.
But would Warner Brothers? This is we're taping this, in 12 hours after the movie's been released. So as the dust settles from this, I got to imagine that this is going to be a huge win for HBO and Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And they follow the cash. So is it possible that this could continue?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I know I want it. I know I really want to see what happens next, because the way they set this stuff up, because they fucking eyeballed Darkseid at the end of this movie. Boom Team was like, "Come get us!"
What's up, fam?
We just sent you your dude's head back, his mauled head. What do you want? That is a statement. Not even the Avengers did that. They just beat the Loki and whoever I forget the race of the villains that he was in charge of. But they didn't know Thanos was around at that point. But the Justice League, they just fucking stared down Darkseid. And they're like, well, I guess we're going to do it this the old-fashioned way. It's like, oh my God, this is going to be awesome. But is it going to be awesome? Because this movie builds the hype for the future very, very, very well.
Yeah.
And I am here for it. But I don't know if it's going to be a thing. What do we do, guys?
I don't know.
Can the internet give us the Snyder cut of Justice League 2? A movie hasn't been made yet. Maybe. I don't know.
You
want to do a little quick round robin
round robin, a small tiny little
notes. Yeah.
I don't think these movies get enough credit for. I think Jeremy Irons is maybe the most comic book accurate Alfred Pennywise that we ever have gotten in any media outside of the comic books. I firmly believe, I just firmly believe that Jeremy Irons' Alfred is both an expert in all the things that he's talking about, and is a fully a good backup to Batman, but also is the field medic Alfred that all the comics kind of allude to every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
I think we were talking about it during the movie. I was like, I need an Alfred that I know has tried to sew up a guy on a beach that he knows is not going to make it, but damn it, he's going to try. He needs to, it doesn't get enough credit for being really, really good. It's excellent.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons was fantastic. The scene where Cyborg and Diana talk, and Diana's trying to you should join us. We know there's danger. We need your help. Is this very similar scene to the Whedon Cut, but in this version, Cyborg has already had his training little montage.
Yep.
He's not hiding under a sweatsuit.
Nope.
He's got agency. He even he tells Diana to meet him at a certain point.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk to her through text messages.
He's not why are you following me? It's I know why you're following me.
Yes, he has
what do you want?
Full agency by the time he shows up to talk to Diana. And it's a fantastic scene. And just as an aside, the actor who plays Cyborg did a phenomenal job with this.
Yeah.
He's the central role of this movie.
He's incredible.
And he did so well. Even with a half of a face and stuff.
And all the sequences of him in the system, the coat, I was like, yes, this is it. I was like, I need him mentally to still be who he is. And they just give him so much agency, but also they give Flash so much agency. He's a straight up coward in the first movie.
Because remember when they're trying to save the people in Gotham? Silas and the gang and stuff, whatever, and he's like, I've never done this before, what am I supposed to do? And Bruce is just run fast, get everyone into safety. And that does not happen.
No.
Bruce just says, get them out of here. And he's like, oh yeah, and just runs them out. And then goes back in.
So good.
It's so good.
So much better.
Because he's not a freaking coward in this movie.
Yeah.
It's great. It was great for Ezra's Flash. Oh, Aquaman's entrance into that very fight was way better in this.
Way better.
Because in the Whedon's cut, he just kind of shows up. In this, not only has he been told by Volko and Mira, like, hey, you need to show up and help. But when the water starts coming into the tunnel, he's right there.
You just see him slide in.
And he's just sitting in the water.
So much better.
And then you see a shot over his shoulders. He's riding the wave in to get ahead of it. It's like, yes!
My man!
My man!
I did say that too many times during this.
You can't say that too many times.
It's great.
It works. It totally works.
Yeah. Other little things. I did write a lot of times in my notes in all caps. I did not expect to like this. I did this is good. The scene where he goes into the water and all the townsfolk are there and the women just start singing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the kind of flavor that this kind of stuff needs. Like, this builds up what makes DC good and their heroes good is that Marvel is all about men becoming gods, and DC is all about, like, gods, like, having to, like, learn their humanity a little bit. And, like, that just, like, fleshed out Aquaman as this, like, larger-than-life being in such a, like, small and subtle way. And it was just, like, this is the kind of stuff that, like, Zack Snyder actually is so good at. Like, building, like, a little moment like that. I was like, these are little nuggets that we show up to this thing for.
Speaking of that, I didn't write this down, but I just thought of it. The score in this movie is way different than the Whedon cut. The music they choose to play during similar scenes is very different. Like that Aquaman scene when he's walking down the pier after you save that guy. He's walking down the pier after you're swirling that bottle of whatever it is. And it's a different song in Zack Snyder's version, and it's a better choice. Because in Whedon, like, he's a rock star, wah! It's like, no, he's like, this is way more regal. There's much more going on in this moment than you think it is, and it's all because of the music choice. And that goes throughout the movie.
The whole thing.
Everyone gets their own little music. Like, there's a lot of Superman stings, and there's a lot of Wonder Woman stings. Like, I think at one point the Amazons are actually playing the drum beat of their song when they do the arrow. Like, it's really, the music is so good, and it really just helps tell a much better version of this story than what Whedon did. My God.
It may be one of my favorite parts of the whole film. It's when, and it's probably something that wouldn't make it if you had to make this a 3-hour movie. It's when Superman shows up to get his suit from the ship, and you hear all of the audio flashbacks of both of his fathers, and it's all this. I'm kind of tearing up because it made me cry. It's just like, it's time to fly, son. Like, it's time to show who you are. And I was like, it finally drove home. I was like, oh, that's the theme. I was like, it's all about all of their parents. I was like, that's all it is. It's father and son, mother and daughter. I was like, this is it. That was such a small, subtle thing, but it just, they nailed it. Nailed it.
Zack Snyder nailed this movie. I cannot recommend this movie enough.
I can't believe we're here saying this.
I really can't. I really can't.
I had the snark gun just like locked and loaded, just like click clack, let's go. Oof.
This is really, really good, and Warner Brothers has an interesting choice ahead of them now. What do they do? Because I got to assume that a lot of you out there probably love this movie as much as we did.
Yeah.
And would like to see more of this.
It's like, what's your move?
What is your move? What is the
Show us your moves!
Because a lot of things have happened, both in the real world of late. It could would definitely complicate things going forward. But like
it's only been because it's been 4 years.
It's been 4 years, and people have lived lives and made mistakes and done some stuff we won't get into. But like you know what I'm talking about. But like, what do we do? Can this franchise move forward? Because this movie is a fucking flag in the ground of like,
this can work.
This can work. This movie are probably whatever version of this movie came out, if it was probably like 3 hours long, could have probably made $1 billion. I would have seen this a couple times in the theater. Yeah. Absolutely.
Just watch Steppenwolf get beheaded.
Dude, that was, as soon as his body is flying, head first towards the boom tube, and you see Wonder Woman last in line, you're like, oh yeah, we all know it's coming. And it's just a nice Zack Snyder slow-mo. You just see like, yes!
I kind of think that's what... the Justice League is kind of giving us the Wonder Woman I think we always kind of want when we show up for the Wonder Woman movies, and I think they kind of pull punches with her in her movies, because I was like, yeah, Wonder Woman's a stone cold murderer. Like she is the soldier that we've all been waiting for. Like, woo!
She doesn't mess around.
No.
And those guys in this movie get bodied.
They get that crouch.
They get that Wonder Woman, that Themyscira, a crouch. Well, Jay, how would you rate the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League?
Man, this is getting 1 out of 1 surprised Jays. And I think 1 out of 1 surprised Adams, too.
Happily surprised Adams. I'm DC guy. Jay's a Marvel guy. I have been being pulled to the Marvel side because of the MCU, rightfully so.
They're forcing your hand a little bit.
I mean, I don't have a choice in the matter. It's just too good. It's just too good. But this movie was very good, and it makes me proud to be a DC fanboy. I'm very happy right now.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see what Warner Brothers does.
Yeah.
And I really hope Zack Snyder gets a second chance at this. I cannot believe I just said that.
Can't believe it.
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 Man of Steel was pretty good. Batman v Superman, the original version, was like, okay. But the director's cut was like way better because they took out the really important 10 minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's really funny how small little bits they keep cutting out of Zack Snyder stuff really makes a huge difference.
Yep. I feel like this movie has shown us that if going forward movies like this exist or will be made, you know what? We can't be scared of a 3-hour Endgame was basically 3 hours.
Yeah.
If this movie needs to be 4 hours, let it be 3.5, 4 hours.
We'll
put an intermission.
We'll be there.
This movie had parts. After part 3, say 10-minute intermission. Everyone go get snacks and go to the bathroom.
For it. We'll show
Broadway does it. They've been doing it for a century. It's a business model that works.
The theaters would love it. We'd buy more popcorn.
We would buy more popcorn. If a movie needs to be this long to be good and coherent, let the movie be this long to be coherent and good.
Let the movies be this long. Let the movies be this long.
Let the movies be this. Why would you guys rate this movie? Let us know in the comments below, or hop on our Discord channel where lots of fun, cool people are talking about lots of fun, cool stuff. We'd love to have you join that conversation. Link is down below in our description box, so while you're down there, please like, subscribe, hit that bell.
Do that YouTube that you do so well. Guacamole's extra. You beheaded interdimensional weirdos, you.
Get good, noob.
Get good.
Steppenwolf, you little bitch. All right. I just want to be back. My dark side said, please take me back. I just wanted you to love me. And the dark side just like, yeah, whatever. just gave him the old dark side crouch. No laser beams, no nothing. Just stepped on his head. Failure. Other videos are popping up right here. Please watch this. We would appreciate it as much as we appreciate you watching this one. We'll see you guys in about 24 hours for the first episode of Winter Falcon. Yeah, I know.
What a week.
What a week indeed. Next week's going to be even more busy. We'll see you then. Bye.